Well, we often talk about the left eating their own, and unfortunately, right now, given there is a weird power struggle or lack of news or whatever the case is, there's plenty on the right right now that are eating their own. But it's important to, try to stay out of this stuff. Even I get sucked in every once in a while. I don't have a perfect record of not getting sucked into infighting and drama, but it is funny when it happens to the left, when it's the left policing each other. Here we have a woke professor who was literally reciting a quote. And unfortunately for her, she was in a room full of other woke professors that immediately decided it was time for her to be canceled. It was time for her life to be completely ruined. And it was all caught on, caught hilariously on tape for all of us to enjoy. So here we have Hunter University. Professor makes racist claims. Outrage after Hunter College professor caught on hot mic making abhorrent comments about race. But this story is a little more complex than they want you to believe. They want you to believe that this woman is just othered now. She needs to be fired, needs to have her life ruined, needs to have all this stuff gone. Here are the comments, and admittedly, they sound a little spicy.
And without GSA, a lot of people wouldn't be seen and accepted. And without CAS, there wouldn't be a GSA for them. Another important part of CAS for me is our speech program. I've been receiving speech services since first grade.
So this is a kid. I think a young black student, if I remember correctly.
I attend Mr. Goldman and two other students on Fridays. He delivers lessons and helps us fit those skills into our lessons.
Black schools that they're too dumb to know they're in a bad school.
Nah, they're just too dumb to know they're in a bad school. First, we have Noah O hitting the O face here. Let's actually zoom out so we can break down all of her coworkers that decided it was time to have her life ruined. And again, there's more to the story, so stay tuned.
In our class.
Look at that. Oh my God. Here's this person. Oh, heavens to Betsy.
Fuck. Apparently Martin Luther King said it. Like, if you train a black person well enough, they'll know to use the back. You don't have to tell them anymore. They just
Allison Friedman, what you're saying is absolutely hearable here. You gotta stop.
Now, first of all, that's actually a quote, but we'll get to that because these people, you notice the white people are the ones reacting, and the women. The black dude's just chilling. This other black chick here, chilling. But let's just play the full context of it.
Schools that they're too dumb to know they're in a bad school. Fuck. Apparently Martin Luther King said it. Like, if you train a black person well enough, they'll know to use the back. You don't have to tell them anymore. They just
Allison Friedman.
Now, she is quoting another black person, but this woman here, look at her face, just absolutely having a complete meltdown. This is time, it's time to ruin this woman's life now. That's what they've all decided. She's gone too far.
Friedman, what you're saying is absolutely hearable here. You gotta stop.
Look at this one on the top. Oh my God, I've never heard anything. You mean a quote from a black guy about oppression? Then they muted it.
I'm sorry, sweetie. Go ahead, baby. I'm sorry.
Now, a New York City professor sparked outrage after being caught on a hot mic making abhorrent remarks about black students. Hunter College Associate Professor Allison Friedman virtually joined a community educational council meeting earlier this month to discuss Moran Zoran Mamdani's pitch to close or relocate some public schools. Well, of course, he's got to defund the police. He's got to close public schools, because who else is going to pay for all those fancy outfits for his dumb wife? Hunter College Associate Professor, as a black 8th grade student, spoke up about her love for her teachers and her disappointment at the prospect of her school shutting down, Freeman inadvertently cut in, according to the New York Times. They're too dumb to know they're in a bad school. If you train a black person well enough, they'll know to use the back. You don't have to tell them anymore. And again, that is a famous quote, right? Like I'm not talking, this is not her saying anything of her own original thought. In fact, her mention of the back appeared to be in response to an earlier reference quote from renowned African-American historian Carter G. Woodson. If you make a man think he is that he is justly outcast, you do not have to order him to use the back door. He will go without being told. The pending closures could affect 3 Upper West Side schools, prompting concerns over the unnecessary disruptions which families gathered to debate. In the video footage of the virtual meetup, which the council uploaded this week, meeting attendees looked visibly shocked by Freeman's commentary. What you're saying is absolutely hearable here, one person said. You've got to stop. In a statement obtained by the Daily Mail, a Hunter College spokesperson called Freeman's remarks abhorrent. And again, her remarks are that of another black man speaking about oppression in the black community. She was not making comments or commentary about black people. She was saying, hey, this is the reality. This is what's going on. This is, whatever the case is. But again, these people, particularly the white ones, decided it's time to ruin this person's life. In service to Hunter College, we expect our community members' actions and words to comport with our institutional identity, value, and policies, they said. We stand firm in our enduring commitment to sustain an inclusive educational environment that is free of discrimination of any kind, in which people of all identities will come to feel welcome and thrive. Again, I feel like I have to keep reminding people, this is not a woman's own remarks. This is her quoting another black person. This is the anti-black comments made on February 10th are outrageous and have no place, especially in civic discourse. It is particularly despicable that these vile words were uttered while children were giving testimony at the meeting. This is just like the BAFTA awards thing last night. There's actually no racism here. There never was. But that doesn't, it's free victimhood points. Why wouldn't you take advantage of them? I understand. I'm deeply disturbed by the blatantly racist and harmful remarks made during the meeting. There's absolutely no place for this type of language in any space, and certainly not in a forum centered around children and their education. Freeman, who is a tenured employee of the Biological Sciences Department, claimed that she was addressing her child and did not even realize her microphone was still on at the time. Of course, that's exactly what happened, but these people don't care. By the way, City Councilmember Rita Joseph said, to speak to a deeper and enduring issue within our city, the New York public system, systemic racism that continues to show up in policies, blah, 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 blah. We're given to give, lazy parents every excuse in the book. According to the New York City Public Schools website, just under 20% of students identify as black. I don't know how you identify as black. You're either black or you're not black. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. I guess I could be wrong. Many districts impacted by the pending mergers, closures, blah, blah, blah. In an email obtained by the Times, Freeman said she was trying to explain the concept of systemic racism by referencing an example of an obviously racist trope. The larger context of her commentary was reportedly not picked up by her microphone. She seemed to be referencing something Higgins had said earlier in the meeting. Higgins quoted black historian and author Carter G. Woodson and reported the West Side Rag. If you make a man think he is justly outcast, you do not have to order him to the back door, Woodson said, in part. He will go without being told. My complete comments make clear these abhorrent views are not my own, nor were they directed at any student or group. I fully support these courageous students. Doesn't stop them from ruining her life. Like, she's literally a BLMer, okay? And they're ruining her life over it. This is literally the quote of another black man talking about essentially oppression. So a black person used this language earlier in the call, and she repeated it while she was unmuted, and now she will forever be racist and probably lose her job. And people don't understand why parents are pulling their kids out of public schools. A very valid point. Very valid point. Again, sounds like she was trying to quote Carter G. Woodson, when you control a man's thinking, you don't have to worry about his actions. Correct. Correct. She needs to be removed from college because she's brought her racial stereotypes and biases to class. I swear white people, regardless of status or education, do not evolve from the racism taught to them by their ancestors. My ancestors didn't teach me any racism. Like, that just never happened. The whole thing is bizarre, and like, it wasn't her opinion. It was, again, here's the moment when an adult interrupts a student as she speaks, not wanting to lose her school. She's not interrupting her. She just didn't know her mic was on. Some of what she says is, in fact, a quote from an old book from Carter G. Woodson. However, she butchered the quote, using it out of context and prefaced it with an insulting remark. So even when these bloodthirsty lunatics, okay, even when they know that you didn't make a racist remark, they don't care about the context. They still want your life ruined. That's why these people must be ignored. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, please subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.